I've been working at the bookstore since 1990. It has always been kind of a place where people would gather to talk about what was going on. So if something happened, they would come to the bookstore. And it really was a community center. And it really was the place that people felt comfortable. At that time, that was the only queer bookstore. When you arrived in Vancouver, that's where you went, and you would meet your friends, and you were proud to go there. Anal penetration was the grounds in Canada for seizures of books and magazines. And then I started seeing all these detentions at the store, and I saw all this yellow plastic, and the yellow plastic essentially was Canada Customs, who had plastic over everything, identifying things that had been seized and seizing a ton of books. So, and they kind of have a rule, if anything had little sister's name on it, they were just going to totally seize it. So much of the books, especially around anal penetration, that was all about people being able to have access to information that was going to save their lives. And it really was beyond any kind of prejudice. So at that point they went, you know what, Canada Customs does not care about us. We need to have a much more proactive sense of how to take on Canada Customs instead of being the victims of Canada Customs. So from that moment on, they got an incredible lawyer, Joseph Arvey, who became the lawyer for the court case. So knowing how important it was, it went to the Supreme Court of Canada. In the final Supreme Court decision, they decided that Canada Customs should consider artistic impression, integrity as something that needs to be considered. So even though they may not understand the artistic element of things, that they should always consider things in that view. Be yourself, support each other, and we are a community, and we don't need to be fractured in the sensibilities of who we are. I think we live in a very unbelievably mediated way, and I think we need to have a sensitivity and an understanding of each other, making sure that when we put something out there, that we do it in a way that's respectful, honest, and with integrity. But I have complete and utter faith in the queer youth. My partner, Julie Steins, also known as Buster Cherry. We've had a ton of drag shows here.
At one point, I belonged to a drag troupe called $3 Bill, and there were very few venues where we could perform. So we were sitting around one day rehearsing for whatever, and I just said, it was like, oh, I don't know, what are we doing this for? Like, where are we going to perform? And I went, well, why not here? You're like, really? I'm like, well, I'll ask Janine. So we ended up having drag shows here.
And so she built a stage.
We had a stage and everything.
Very bad lighting.